Shut the fuck up, Red. You're the reason we're late. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the Wood. I do apologize. There is no excuse. It's not Red's fault. It's my fault. And I fell asleep. That's the simple fucking fact. I was sitting here and fell asleep. But anyways,
do not blame Ambien.
It was Ambien's fault. It was Roseanne Barr. I ate her out. And the Ambien juices just flew through. And
that's even too far for you, Pimp. Too far.
I'm back on my. Honest truth is, I'm back on my leg medicines, and when I first get back on them, they take effect on me. they control me a little bit, and right now I'm like high. I'm high. I'm so fucking high right now.
He's kind of like Tally's like, I want to get high.
What can go on this show?
I am so fucking high. Anyway,
anybody who's show is I'm so fucking high, you know it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
So wasted, man.
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna talk about ridiculous lawsuits today. The other guest is having computer issues, by the way. So if she shows up, she shows up. She don't. You know, we all have computer issues sometimes,
don't we?
Yeah, it's funky. And I'm sorry about the angle, the lighting, and all this. I'm having to use the laptop right now because of my keyboard broke on my desktop, and I'm waiting for that to come. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're of course joined today by Mr. Steve McRae. What's up, buddy?
Hey, bud.
How you been doing?
I've been doing great, man. We've been busy as shit, as you know. So
yeah, I was just wondering, is he going to show up? Is he going to show up?
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry about that.
There was 2 times, you stood me up there.
I've never done that before either, so I do apologize. All my fault. I blame Ambien. I was fucking high on Ambien. All I did was sit there and tweet all night long.
See, Red told me to cut you out. Red said don't have nothing else to do with him.
Well, Red says a lot,
yeah.
I'm just a spiteful prick.
He is.
Yeah, but I was like, Red, I'm a nice guy, Red. I can't do that. Red said, fuck him.
No, I actually said, fuck that guy, mate.
Fuck that guy, mate. And Bob's his uncle. But anyways, I got all kinds of shit going wrong today. Okay, the first, wrong, man. I got 2 mouses right here. Sperm theft. That is the first lawsuit. In 1998, a man from Albuquerque filed a lawsuit against his former girlfriend for impregnating herself without his consent. Plaintiff Peter Walls accused defendant Kelly Smith of fraud and breach of contract for intentionally acquiring and misusing his sperm. According to Wall, Smith had given her word that she would use the pill. Then she intentionally stopped taking it to have his baby. This resulted in Walls being the father of a baby without his knowledge or consent to the plan. His plea for money was based on the grounds that he would have to pay the expense to support the child whom he did not want. On the defendant's side, lawyers argue that Smith could not have stolen the sperm because it was transferred during a voluntary act. Therefore, it should be legally classed as a gift, and Walls no longer had any right of possession. Upon hearing the pregnancy, Walls proposed to Smith and requested that she get an abortion. However, Smith declined both offers and moved in with her parents instead. Contrary to Walls' arguments that women have all the choices and that it wasn't fair to him to have to pay up, Smith was within her rights with both rejections and therefore won the case. Wow. Okay. First off, I just want to say, I think he was trying to make a political point here.
Was he MGTOW or MRA or anything like that?
It doesn't say. I do agree that men have no choices really when it comes to the pregnancy thing. They just don't.
No.
Like, if a woman gets pregnant and she decides that she wants to keep it, she can keep it. If she wants to decide when she have an abortion, boom, the man has no choice. But if she whatever she decides, the man is legally to take care of the baby.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, you spin the wheel, you take your chances. I mean, it's the way it is. I have a daughter, and I tried my damnedest to make sure she's taken care of, even though she doesn't live with me. I have primary custody, but I wouldn't change anything, right? I mean, she was an accident. She knows this, but I wouldn't.
Most of us are accidents.
Oh yeah, I totally believe very few are planned any longer.
Oh, I was told that for a fact. It's like you were just an accident. It's like, yay.
Well, who the fuck would plan to have you?
Exactly.
I mean, clearly that was an accident.
There's laws against that shit. I'm pretty sure the Geneva Convention's a whole section. No.
There's quite a few laws broken to have it read.
But if a woman can decide she doesn't want to be a mother, why can't a man decide he doesn't want to be a father?
Because we don't carry them for 9 months.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it
absolutely doesn't. It does. If you step up and you stick your penis into a woman and you don't have protection, you are taking part in what's known as procreation for the species. And as soon as you stick your dick in that woman and ejaculate, you knew the risks. Yep. And it's her body and her say from that point.
I agree.
Titties, suck it up, princess.
Wait a minute, no. Let me make my point. I agree. I agree. But same thing with her. If she decides she wants it, she keeps it. If she decides she doesn't, she doesn't. Okay, if I stick my dick in you, I should have a little bit of a decision. What happens to that baby?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I have to go with
You're a sperm donor and nothing more.
I think you're
SJW nothing more.
I think you're a couple of SJW fucks, and I don't like you.
I'm not even a feminist. I'm going to be an SJW. Look, I mean, even if you're wearing protection, even if there's some kind of spermicidal or some other things that couples are using, it doesn't matter. You spin the wheel, you take your chances. It's as simple as that. And she has the full control over that. I mean, she's the one having it in her belly for 9 months.
Okay. I'm the one having to pay for the motherfucker for 21 years. I mean,
21.
Don't have sex with the woman. Get a mouth hug.
Yeah, well, Pimpmunk got to worry about that.
Use the same argument. Dude, I get more pussy by accident.
This is clearly a hypothetical.
I get more pussy by accident than you do on purpose, Steve. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next lawsuit. McDonald's under heat. I think I know what this one is because I'm in 1992, 79-year-old Albuquerque. Why is this all in Albuquerque? There's another Albuquerque one. Albuquerque resident Stella Liebeck was a passenger in her grandson's car when they ordered. Yeah, I know about this one. When they ordered coffee at a local McDonald's drive-thru window, the coffee was served in styrofoam cup with a plastic lid. Liebeck attempted to remove the lid so that she could add cream and sugar to her beverage. She placed a coffee cup between her knees and peeled at the lid, which resulted in the contents of the cup being spilled on her lap. Unfortunately, the situation was made worse by her attire, as her sweatpants absorbed the boiling hot coffee, held it against her skin, and worsened the burns. She suffered third-degree burn on her inner thighs and was hospitalized for 8 days while she underwent skin graft procedure. Upon filing the lawsuit against McDonald's, Liebeck wished to settle for $20,000 to cover her medical expenses and lost income for her daughter, who took time off from work to care for Liebeck. However, McDonald's refused the offer. The case unveiled the previous 700 claims over burns from the coffee between 1982 and 1992, some of which also included third-degree burns. And it goes on a little bit, but basically, you don't stick a cup of coffee between your goddamn knees. First of all, what the fuck are you thinking?
But they had determined that it was exceptionally hot. I mean, if you're going to have some beverage that's capable of 30-degree burns, I mean,
that is hot. That is awful hot.
There's a range for the industry standard for coffee. I have actually read about this particular lawsuit before, and Starbucks is a little bit lower, but McDonald's was quite high at the time, and if you can have, I mean, somebody that's third-degree burns, that is a safety thing. I don't think coffee needs to be that hot.
I agree. It was too hot. I agree. It was way too hot. I do.
She got messed up. She got burned.
Yeah. I knew about that. I've read about this before, and I agree. It was way too hot. But still, you don't take a fucking soft styrofoam cup of hot coffee and put it between your goddamn knees. I mean, look, I know that she got burned and that's bad, but you also got to use a little bit of logic here. That shit can fuck you up.
Sure. No, and normally when you have these types of lawsuits, they do like a preponderance of who's more negligible, right? If it's over 50%, then it's whoever's at fault. And I think in this particular lawsuit, they did determine because the coffee was so hot, McDonald's
it was very hot.
Yeah, they had more culpability. So, but I mean, granted, she had some, right? I mean, she did something stupid.
She was a bit responsible. I don't think. I mean, I do believe, I agree that you can make it too hot. And McDonald's is known for their hot coffee anyway, because, you know, people like hot coffee. But, yeah, you can't get it too hot. And if you third-degree burn is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But, you know, I don't know. In this case, I would be like, okay, I feel bad for her because she got burnt. But also, you don't put coffee in between your goddamn knees.
If there's an industry standard and the coffee temperature was above it at the time of serving it, they're done like a baked dinner. Move on.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I think McDonald's was like 6 degrees hotter than even Starbucks, even hottest. So something like that. So I mean, but even still, I mean, we all realize that when you have something hot, you have to take certain precautions. But that hot is so boiling. I don't think anybody would have been expecting that kind of damage from something like that. So I don't think she had an expectation of how much severe burn she was going to get if it was spilled on her, right? Because normally we all have coffee in the morning. I'm drinking it right now, and I don't think she, like any other person, would think that it could cause that much damage. 3rd degree, yeah. So it had to be fucking hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. That is definitely hot.
It's a cup of lava right there, basically.
No kidding.
Cup of lava.
Yep.
Defying the laws of physics. That's the next case.
Ooh.
In 2005, Minnesota resident Christopher Roller sued illusionist, I don't know why, David Copperfield for $50 million. Roller was convinced that he was God, and the acts of several magicians led him to honestly believe that they were stealing his powers and improperly using them to perform magic. During the dispute, Roller addressed reporters to inform them that he would withdraw the lawsuit if Copperfield could prove how he performed his magic without using the powers of God. Following the dismissal of his lawsuit, Roller applied for a patent for exclusive rights to the use of godly powers on Earth. He argued that he is a God entity and the others have been receiving unethical financial gains from the use of his powers.
Okay. Okay, Okay, I'm having issues here. Okay, let me ask you this: if he was God, don't you think he would know how Copperfield was doing it?
Well, he wanted the world to prove it. He wanted them to prove it.
You're a God. You can win your own goddamn lawsuit. You say, "Hey, you can't use my fucking powers no longer."
You just go, yeah, everyone knows how you did it now, Dave. Now fucking pay up.
How does that even get through the initial court system? How does that just get thrown out on, prima facie?
Oh, by the way, this guy was a former U.S. Navy nuclear engineer.
Oh, fuck you. Get the fuck out.
He's not a dumbass. He's not a dumbass.
No, I know. I mean,
Steve probably worked with him.
I'm confused here because I was a naval nuclear engineer in the Navy too. And you cannot be a dumbass. It's like the top 1% in the military.
Apparently you can, Steve. Apparently you can.
Apparently you can.
Yeah, think about that. That guy was operating 150 megawatt nuclear reactors and training people to operate them at one time. Yes, I mean, that's scary.
Frightening.
But that goes to show even smart people can be fucking crazy.
This is true. Yeah, we all tend to lose it every so often.
You know, there's an old saying that my mom used to use all the time. There's a thin line between genius and insanity.
Fucking Frankie says we're looking into Steve's future. Fuck you, Frankie.
Silent
I love
Frank. It's Silent Frank.
I just think it's interesting that a guy with that kind of education, with that kind of smarts, would be that goddamn loony.
Well, let's put this in perspective. Tesla fell in love with a fucking pigeon, and he swears to people that pigeon loved him back. So
that is true.
Pigeons are, they're sweethearts.
Yeah.
They're sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. He was a nuke. Okay. That's
Steve's going, whoa.
I can't get over that because I mean the nuke program is fucking difficult as shit.
I'll imagine.
And you cannot beat your average run-of-the-mill moron. You've never seen a flat earther be a nuke. I'll tell you that.
Never.
Yeah.
Never once.
Oh, look at Sinister Oculus like Steve's beard.
I did flat iron it today. Oops, shit. I didn't, so it's kind of a little curlier than usual. Sorry, guys. It's usually a little bit longer. But
most nutsack like his beard too.
Pimp, I did my hair for you today because the other day on the non sequitur, they thought I had a perm, and I'm like, what is it? The '80s?
I think it's the gay. I think that's the gayest looking goddamn beard I've ever seen.
That's my intent. You know how to flatter me, don't you?
Looks like somebody from the fucking Village People would wear.
I would probably go more gay for Pimp than you, Red. I mean, Pimp. No, I'd probably go more gay for.
You don't even what the fuck. You don't even what the fuck.
I don't know. Fucking, yeah, more coffee, please.
Yeah.
The next one is Victoria's Secret.
What?
In 2008, 52-year-old Marquita Patterson, who was employed by the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, filed a lawsuit against the retail giant Victoria's Secret. The story behind her case is that she suffered damages to her eye after a metal fastener snapped off of a thong and scratched her cornea, causing an injury that did not require surgery. The plaintiff argued that she was using the product as intended by the defendants. However, there was debate about sizing issue and the fact that the product had been worn and laundered several times. Patterson's attorney said that the injury would affect his client for the rest of her life, although Patterson sought compensation of at least $25,000 for lost wages, medical expenses, and damages. Her lawyer stated that the case was not about money, but about making retailers aware that they are accountable for their products they sell.
Now, these were on a thong, right?
Yes.
And so there was some kind of fastener on the thong that just popped and somehow hit her in the eye?
Yeah, popped off and scratched your eye.
I'm just trying to figure out how that works logistically.
And basically, Victoria's Secret, they didn't technically say this, but this is what I gathered. The bitch was too fat to be wearing the product.
Oh, okay. That's why it popped.
That's, yeah. She's too,
so it kind of exceeded the safety threshold.
Yeah, that's their argument. That's their argument. But I don't know. In this case, I'd probably say that I don't know. I don't know what to think about that.
And she was 52, by the way.
Yeah.
At the 52, I don't really know if you should be wearing thongs. Now, I'm not trying to judge. Trust me. But I'm pushing 50, and there's certain things I know I'm not going to be able to wear any longer, like Speedos. But by the way, I've never worn a Speedo. But there's certain things you just want to see old people in, okay?
Yeah.
Thong, one of them.
Mate, we all bloody wear thongs down here. What's wrong with you blokes?
I've seen that. You've seen the man thing that comes down like this with a V. It's like this. All it is like a piece of thing of holding your junk, and then it has like these two.
Yeah, the mankini. No,
yeah, thank you.
See, here's the thing: in Australia, a thong, what we call thongs, you fucking mad bastards call flip flops, and what we call we call thongs G-strings down here, and yeah, it's all fucked up. So when we say thongs. We're talking about flip-flops, and when we're talking G-strings, we're talking what you call thongs.
Well, they both have a piece that goes in between two things.
Yeah, when I think of G-string, I think of my guitar. So,
well, I've heard thongs we call G-strings before.
And flip-flops thongs, sure.
I've never, but I honestly never did hear flip-flops be called thongs.
Really?
Until I started talking to people online.
No.
Then you always buy the double pluggers, mate. Don't buy those single plugger thongs. They're fucking useless, and they'll blow out at you at the pub in the middle of a vicious drinking session. Nothing worse than a blowout.
A double plugger, that sounds like a double-headed dildo.
No, a double plugger is if you flip a thong upside down, you have a look. The parts that go over your foot, they go through with a rubber plug, and the good ones actually come off into two bits and double plug on each side of your foot. They're the ones you want, double pluggers, mate.
Oh.
You're all going, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
He's talking this foreign language shit over here. Double plugger.
Anyway. Fucking Chuzwazzer, mate. Chuzwazzers.
Double plugger is a whole different connotation to me, but
yeah, me too. The work is too boring. In 2016 case, Frenchman Frederick Disnard filed a case against his former employee for 360,000 euros after using the phrases descent into hell and nightmare to describe his boredom levels at work. The defendant was French perfumer something, I can't see that word, where Disnard was an employee for 8 years before apparently being forced out of his job, increased levels of boredom. He believes that the company intentionally cast him aside after losing a major contract. Then after 7 months, sick leave for health issues like epilepsy and the ulcers, he was fired. The case went on to include workplace harassment by Desnard's superiors, including name calling and insulting duties, like picking up their kids from school. Desnard's lawyer stated that bore out of is considered harassment and that the company should be required to pay for any mental torment caused to the employee. The case was finally considered by a labor tribunal in Paris, although they were supposed to issue a decision on July 27, 2016. They set the case for a new hearing instead. So, anyways, he sued him because he was bored.
Yeah, so that's the whole lawsuit. The job was too boring and boring him to death or something?
Yeah, then it went on to say, basically, he lost a major contract for the company, so they wouldn't let him pretty much do anything, and they gave him some, very idiotic things to do, like go pick up shit. Yeah, they gave him things like to go pick up their kids from school, the bosses and stuff like that. So he got pissed and sued.
Paycheck's a paycheck, man. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude. Why? I mean, if he's getting paid the same thing he was,
shit.
What the hell gives a fuck?
I know.
I mean, shit.
I mean, who hasn't been bored at work?
Yeah. Those sort of jobs, if he's on the same money, it's a cakewalk. It's just like, do your fucking job and redeem yourself one day, idiot.
No shit, right? Yeah, that's how I would kind of look at it. I mean, we've all had menial jobs sometime in our lives. I mean, I've worked for, 20, 30, whatever fucking years. We all do shit we don't want to have to do, but I never sued an employer because I was bored. I just went in the back and slept for an hour.
Everybody bitches about major corporations, but they do have to deal with a lot of dumbass lawsuits. Man, yeah, they do. And this is a pretty dumb lawsuit. I mean, you can't sue somebody because you're fucking bored. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because everybody be suing you for your channel.
And another thing, if you're bored, that means you're not working.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the internet, and you bring your phone to work and you're good to go. Just Wi-Fi.
Indeed. False weather prediction. Oh, Lord. Ever been in one of those situations where you're really looking forward to a day off that has been forecast to be sunny and then it rains? An Israel woman had this unfortunate experience too. However, instead of moving on with her day, she filed a lawsuit against the TV weatherman for malpractice. After hearing the weather prediction of a sunny day, the plaintiff dressed lightly. She got caught in a storm. She got the flu, missed for 4 days of work, and forked out $38 on medication. For compensation, she sued for $1,000 due to added stress. She also demanded an apology from weatherman Danny Rupp. The TV station settled out of court and paid the woman $1,000. Oh, and Rupp apologized. So she won.
Oh, my fucking
won. Wow. I was assuming they were going to laugh at the bitch and throw it out of court, but she won.
Every so often, people get lucky.
that was a stupid reason. I mean, look, the weathermen are it's an educated, it's
a probability thing.
Yeah, it's not 100% fact that they can't get everything right.
Right, and I think most people understand that. I mean, don't you kind of realize that these people are not giving absolute facts? They're not saying it will do this tomorrow. They always usually say it's more likely it's going to rain tomorrow, or it's like we're likely to have showers throughout the weekend. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, they can only give you predictions.
Right.
They can't. I mean, the weather is unpredictable. So you don't know if the weather.
God can change it at any time.
I can't believe the TV station pussied out. And
did they settle out of court? Or did he win?
Yeah, no, they settled out of court.
That's not a win, but
that's a win.
No, it's a win for him, but it's not like the court said, "Oh, you had your court case had merit." It's just they like you said, they pussied out.
Here's what the TV station did. They went, how much do the lawyers cost? How many hours are we going to spend in court? Are we going to go over $1,000? Yes. Pay the fucking lady and let's get along with it. Let's just move on with our lives. Thank you. That's what happened, I reckon.
I agree. That's the reason. I mean, I figure that's what happened. That's why they did it. I would personally, though, be so fucking pissed off, and I'm a vengeful bastard. So I would say I'm going to make this person look ridiculous. But anyways, they didn't. Smelly feet. That's what the next. In 1999, Netherlands student. I cannot say this fucking name.
Just make it up. Nobody would care. Bjorn Bork.
Tunis Tenbrook. We're gonna call him Tenbrook. Tenbrook was expelled from Erasmus University due to the smell of his feet. No joke. He was removed from the institution on the grounds that the smell of his feet prevented students and teachers from focusing. They can no longer be around. Tenbrook had been studying philosophy at the time of the incident, filed a lawsuit against the learning institution so that he could be reinstated. After a 10-year fight in court, the judge ruled that the university had to reinstate the student and learn to deal with the issue of his smelly feet. No word on whether he ever graduated.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they got told to reinstate him. I mean, there's certain things that become like makes learning difficult, and if you're in a school situation, it's like saying, "Well, I'm going to be yelling in a library because I'm allowed to or something," and yet we all know that people go to the library in order to study and learn, not to put up with somebody's fucking yelling and screaming and talking loud. I think bodily odors would fall somewhere into that category. If it's disruptive, then I think the school had every right to do something about it. But my God, how much smell do your feet have to have?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How bad?
I mean, for fuck's sake, I was in the military. We all had athletes' feet before. Let's put it where men get it, but you take care of it, right? And even then, it doesn't get that bad. I've never had odorific feet like that, but I'm not a foot person. But damn,
it's got to be fucking awful, dude. For college to kick your ass out.
It's how hard is it? It's like buy that motherfucker some odor eaters for his shoes, or when he's walking into the school grass, just fucking hose that son of a bitch down with a fire hose.
They'll do that in the military, by the way.
Was it
they do.
Was he going to school barefooted? Because even people's stinky feet, when they wear their shoes, it does something where you can't really smell it that bad. So if it's going through if the smell is coming through that's bad. I mean, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's definitely permeating your sock and your shoe. But yeah, no, I'm not kidding. In the military, they will fucking hose your ass down with a fire hose, like with a 1.5 inch fire hose and shit. Okay, maybe not that big because it would hurt. But I mean, they do use fire hose. Maybe it actually was about that big. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they'll fuck you up, man. They don't put up because if you think about it, you're in small living quarters, especially on a sub or even on my ship. We had berthing quarters, and so you sleep there with other people, and so when people that are having that issue, they get taken care of pretty quickly because nobody wants to go in there after a long day of work and smell stinky shit.
Yeah, right? Fuck that. Yeah. What? Yeah, you can't come to our university. Your feet smell like dead hookers. Be gone.
Well, if it smells like dead hookers, it smells good. Allegedly. Yeah. Radio station prank. In 2000, Catherine McGowan, single mother and manager of a local video shop, called up a radio station to enter a contest that offered a brand new Renault Clio as a prize. I guess it's a car, right? Yeah, it's a car. As a prize, little did she know that her prize was actually a toy model of the car, which left her infuriated and humiliated. So McGowan sued the radio station. As a result of the lawsuit, Chris Constantine, the radio DJ behind the stunt, was sacked for breaching the station's governing rules that competition should be conducted ethically. The station manager then contacted reporters to admit that McGowan had been incorrectly led to believe that the competition was legit. Luckily for McGowan, she won the case and was awarded enough money to buy a real brand new Clio car.
I think I remember that too. Yeah, and I think that I don't call that a frivolous lawsuit. I think that actually legit.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. For a station to advertise something like that and then say, "Oh, by the way, fuck you, it's a prank," that is a breach. That is a breach of privacy.
Yeah, it ain't really. This is not a frivolous law. It's ridiculous that they did that to that one. I mean that you can't make people think they're gonna get something, then you give them a fucking little toy.
Right. Yeah. Now, I mean, it would have been funny if they were said, "Hey, here's a toy," and then take it right back and go, "By the way, we're just fucking with you. Here's a car." That would have been fine, right?
That would have actually been fucking awesome to see the look of absolute fucking anger on her face turn into, "Oh my god, it happened!" Really, it's like that would have been great.
Yeah, great. That's good TV.
Yeah. Fucking A, man. It's like some people just don't deserve to be in the jobs they're in, and clearly that radio DJ got his just fucking desserts. Have fun on the unemployment line, asshole.
I agree. Wait a minute, I've lost my shit. Wait a minute, hold up.
I lose my shit all the time. I did the other day, sort of. Anyways, okay, here we go. I'm back. I lost my damn everything for a second there. I couldn't see nothing. This new setup, well, it ain't a new setup. The setup I'm having to use right now is fucking me up. But anyways, yeah, that's a stupid fucking thing to do. They should have knew better. They should have known better. Here's the next one. Too Scary Halloween. Every year, thousands of people across the world to attend Universal Studios' famous Halloween Horror Night. They expect fear, thrills, and excitement to be thrown their way. In 1998, Cleaneth Peters, I don't know that name, I can't, however, was not ready for the fright she received, later claiming that she was assaulted by a chainsaw-wielding maniac. She filed a lawsuit against Universal Studios for emotional and physical damage caused by one of their haunted houses, which she had attended with her 10-year-old granddaughter. After receiving a fright from the chainsaw-wielding man, the duo fled to the exit. Both slipped on the floor, which was moist from a mist used by Universal to cool visitors after their trip through the horror house. The suit demanded over $15,000 for unspecified injuries and mental trauma. Universal settled out of court. Okay. She shouldn't have sued them. Well, there's two factors in that. Okay. One, the scaring, and two, the slippage. Now, the slippage I think could be legit. I mean, there has to be some kind of safety things. If the floor is wet, wet. That is something in any type of business you have to take into account. You need some kind of non-stick or something, maybe. But the scaring, I mean, I used to go to Halloween Haunt all the time with Knott's Berry Farm, and I don't remember this specifically, but I'm sure there's something on a ticket that says something along the lines of, if you have a weak heart or you'll be frightened, blah, blah. You kind of have that expectation going in when it's called Fright Night, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have a haunted forest, and we'd have to sign a thing before we go through it.
Yeah. In Australia, it's like if you slip up, here's a crazy law in Australia. If a man robs your house and he's walking out with your old school massive CRT Sony that weighed half a ton, and he slips on the concrete path and it's slimy, and he falls over, the TV lands on him, breaks his ribs, and he hurts his back, he can sue you for the injuries he sustains while robbing your fucking house because of how the laws are. Is you can't have slippery pathways.
It's the same here. It's the same thing here. I mean, if you're robbing a store and you have an accident because of something unsafe, you can sue. And by the way, in Australia, though, that's a real motherfucking chainsaw they use. So that's a problem.
But we actually had a cop investigator break in at our place, and he slipped over on the back pathway, and my old man pitched a fit trying to make sure he was all right. And the bloke actually said out loud, "Don't worry, mate, I'm not going to sue you." And my dad visibly went, it's like, it's frightening, just a slip on a pathway. But the idea that someone's stealing from your fucking house and they injure themselves, they can turn around and sue you, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's here's one. Going seriously, yes, absolutely. It's a fucking law in Australia, and from what I gather in some parts of America, it's also will fly.
Yeah. Here, that's fucking crazy. Here's one. A couple got sued because of the emojis they used in text.
What? Wow.
An Israel couple had to pay more than $2,000 for an apartment they never rented, thanks to an emoji. No, seriously. The couple contacted a landlord found online about their interest in an apartment. During their text conversations, the couple used various smiley faces as well as other emojis like champagne bottle and peace sign. Because of this, the landlord thought the couple was sincerely interested and took his property off the market, except they weren't. And when they backed out, he took them to court for the month's rent he lost, and a judge ruled he had every right to do so. Although this message did not constitute a binding contract between the parties, the message naturally led to the plaintiff's great reliance on the defendant's desire to rent his apartment, he said in his ruling. Wow.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, if you I mean, granted, it's not binding contract or anything, but if you have an expectation where you're financially damaged because of somebody else, absolutely.
I agree. I know what you're saying, but they never said we want to rent. We're going to. They just used emojis. That's
I'd actually side with the thing, and here's just a warning: never get between a landlord and his shekels. Or Gavel.
I'm not sure. I mean, look, I kind of get it, but I'm not sure I'd 100% agree with the ruling. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of like mixed on that one. I really
have to look at the actual transcription of what was being.
Yeah, that would help. That would definitely help. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to say that. I don't know. I just don't know about that one. Beer guzzler sues Foster's for convincing him that beer is...
This was Red. Red did this.
I know this case. I've heard it, and I pissed myself laughing and just went, "You dickhead."
New York resident Leaf Nelson, good name, is suing Foster's Beer for deceiving them. Apparently, all of their ads featuring kangaroos and the Australian flags misled him to believe that his beloved beer was being brewed down under. In fact, Foster's is brewed in Fort Worth, Texas, and has been since 2011. Nelson says that he'll resume drinking his favorite beer when they properly label the cans and stop falsely advertising their beer as Australian.
Ready to take this one?
This is just funny as fuck. For some reason, this guy thinks that
that's stupid.
That they're going to brew cans of beer and then ship them from fucking Western Australia all the way to wherever the fuck you live, instead of just brewing it at a local brewery, canning it and throwing it in a truck for half an hour and putting it in a fridge. It's like, how fucking retarded are you to think that it's not expensive beer either. The price should have indicated that it was not an import, you fucking dickhead.
I bet this guy goes to Outback Steakhouse thinking he's really eating in Australia.
Yeah, and that's just frightening. And I've heard about the meals there. That's not really Aussie cuisine. Wink.
Yeah. I've never ate there, so I don't know. I've never eaten one. I heard that good food, though.
Yeah, and Foster's is a horrible fucking beer. Why do you think they sold it off to overseas breweries? Because it's like after when we won the America's Cup in the 80s, everyone just went, yeah, we like to try good beer, and Foster's is not good beer. That's why we sold it. It's horse piss.
I'm not a big Foster's fan to begin with. I mean, I drink IPA.
I have never drank Foster's ever.
It's a good Aussie beer, Crown Lager, and get it. That's the shit. It's really good beer. Or Cooper's from Tasmania. Everything else is shit, in my opinion. You're gonna drink the good shit, you drink Cooper's, and that family has been brewing beer for about 150 years, and the Crown Lager was saved for dignitaries and visiting royalty when they empty the vat out. It's the very best of the best beer in that thing. So yeah, Foster's a shit.
I had Foster's. I had it in Australia. Wasn't a big fan.
Cool. Red Eye, over in Australia, y'all have Hellman's mayonnaise?
What?
Hellman's mayonnaise. It's a brand of mayonnaise. Hellman's mayonnaise.
No. Not
okay.
familiar with it.
Well, it's the best mayonnaise in my opinion. It is good. But anyways, Hellman's owner, the person that owns Hellman's mayonnaise, sues competition for using the word mayo.
What?
Yes. Mayonnaise, you eat it, you love it. You can't eat sandwiches without it. This is the writer, dude. But do you really know it? According to according to this thing, Hellman's parent company federal regulations specifically define mayonnaise as a spread that contains eggs, which is why they're not happy that a competitor is trying to pass off an egg-free version as the real stuff. Oh, okay. The nerve. Okay, wait a minute. We get down. I'm losing my shit here. Hampton Creek's Just Mayo uses plant products instead of chicken eggs in its spread. By calling their decidedly non-mayo product Just Mayo, Hampton Creek is participating in a false advertising and stealing the market share that is rightfully Hellman's. Consumers and cooks have an expectation that mayonnaise should be both taste and perform like mayonnaise. Just Mayo does neither, the complaint states. Burn. Okay, Hampton Creek CO Josh Tetrick doesn't think it's a big deal. Today it's mayo, tomorrow it's a cookie, next year it will be pasta, he said. Maybe we'll see big cookies and big pasta lawsuits against us next. This is a weird one.
Yeah, this is strange because it's like one could try and categorize it like the champagne thing, how France is only allowed to market stuff as champagne. Everyone else it's got to be marketed as bubbling white wine. And it could be, if they created mayonnaise and can prove that they came up with the original recipe, they may very well be able to go for this. It's an international trade law. And the Russians did it with vodka. They beat another country to the punch, even though history shows that they didn't actually invent vodka, funnily enough. But yeah, I don't know where was mayo created. Where was mayonnaise first created? I think
that is an American product, right?
Well, mayonnaise is just an emulsion, right? I mean, that's basically a type of suspension in something, right? So, I mean, I don't think mayonnaise is a trade name, right? I mean,
I don't know. I've just thought of it as maybe they could try it like that.
But mayo, that's what they're saying because of mayo. Did Hellman's first start saying mayo? I don't know.
I don't know that. I don't know the etymology of the word mayonnaise, but I mean the concept behind mayonnaise itself isn't that complicated. But
no, it's not.
It's probably a sauce, that became.
But I don't like the fact that if I don't like the fact. It's simply that mayonnaise is a certain product made a certain way. If you're not making it like the way it's supposed to be made, then is it technically mayonnaise? That's like a veggie burger, right? It's not really a burger.
It's really not. No, I agree with you on that. No, the veggie burger, don't call it burger. It's not a burger.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
What about when you put fish on there?
Fish sandwich. That's no such thing as a fish burger.
You guys are going to freak the fuck out if you ever come to Australia and look at the burger list. Like Stephen, people be there go, no, that's
not a fucking burger.
It's not a fucking
I get irritated when people call it like a tofu burger. No, it's not a it's not a burger. God damn it! But
lose your shit.
if they're not using eggs in the recipe, should they call it mayonnaise? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, mayonnaise to me always is a emulsification with eggs. I mean, that's always what it's been. So I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe they should just call it a spread.
Well, here's the thing. In Australia, we've got a law about this thing with chocolate. If it's below 15% cocoa, by law, you can't say it's chocolate flavored or chocolate. You got to call it choc flavored, CHOK. And if it's above 15% of cocoa, you're allowed to call it chocolate. And that's because there were people coming out and they were dropping the cocoa content, dropping below 15%, and they had to come up with a legal definition of what chocolate is. So it has to be above 15%. If it's below, they've got to call it choc flavored. So maybe the thing with mayonnaise could be mayo is the kind of stuff, and then mayonnaise is egg, certain recipe, the way it was always done, and there's your cutoff. I don't know. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, fucking just eat the shit and shut up.
Man sues dry cleaners for $67 million for losing pants.
Oh yeah, this is one of the most famous lawsuits of all time.
Yeah,
this was the most frivolous bullshit that went on forever.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember a Washington D.C. judge took his pants to get dry cleaned after a family-owned business called Customer Cleaners. According to him, they never returned the correct pair of pants and betrayed the satisfaction guaranteed sign in their store. This served as enough reason to sue the business for $67 million for losing his pants, a.k.a. the most expensive pants in the history of pants. Later on, he was gracious enough to drop the case down to only $54 million. Lawsuit language has never sounded so beautiful. Roy Pearson, the offended pants man, passionately describes his mental suffering, inconvenience, and discomfort at the hands of a business where never before recorded history have a group of defendants engaged in such misleading and unfair business practices. To the judge, basically, life without pants has been hell.
Yeah, there is an upside to this particular story. The judge. He actually lost his judicial seat because the higher up said you don't have the judicial temperament if you're going to bring a $54 million frivolous lawsuit, and he lost his position. So, but unfortunately, the dry cleaner suffered huge financial losses from the business because they had to pay all these court costs, but they made it up on other things. I mean, they got a huge amount of support. People were helping them, and this was a mom and pop type of organization. And I think in the long run they probably came out ahead, but I think the judge kind of got shat on because he's never gonna be a judge again.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect someone who deals with the law to do something so stupid like that.
God. Can you imagine?
It's just ridiculous. And I think what this is this guy, a lot of people who get in power positions come to think that everybody owes them. You can't do me wrong. You can't, nothing bad can happen to me. And I think this guy actually thought he was going to win because he was a judge.
Sure. Well, I mean, same thing. Like, do you remember just recently that one guy went into some restaurant and he just went on a racist rant, and he was a lawyer. Right. Yeah. And he just went off on the people speaking Spanish. And you know what? They shat all over him for being, and his legal career is pretty well shot, because if he doesn't have that kind of temperament to understand that he was being a racist prick, then who the fuck is going to hire him to be their lawyer? I mean, seriously, do you want a racist prick to go into court for you? Not, yep. I wouldn't.
That's the whole beauty of free speech. It's a double-edged sword. You're free to say what you want, when you want, to who you want, but that sword could come spin back around and take your fucking head clean off after you say some stupid shit. And that's the beauty. Let the people say the stupid things so we know who they are and we don't have to associate with them.
Bingo.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Like and subscribe.
Yep. Exactly. Woman sues Google Maps for bad directions.
Oh, no. Please tell me she ended up in a creek in her fucking camper van. That's going to be awesome.
Shortcut my ass. What is a shortcut? It goes right off the cliff.
Oh.
You'll be what takes you normally a half hour, you'll be there in about 50 seconds.
The specifics of this story involves Rosenberg trying to walk from 96 Daly Street, Park City, Utah to 1710 Prospector Avenue. I'm not doxing, this is what it says. Prospect Avenue, Park City, Utah, using Google Maps on her BlackBerry as her guide. Part of the Google directions she got involved a half-mile walk down Deer Valley Drive. When she got there, she found that the road itself had no pedestrian pathway or sidewalks. Why? Because Deer Valley Drive was also known as the Utah State Route 224. However, Rosenberg continued following directions and started walking right down a major highway with a lot of high speeding cars. When she got hit by one, she sued Google for leading her there. She demanded $100,000, claiming the directions were unreasonable and unsafe. Despite the fact the road was obviously unfit for pedestrians and that up on the map, Google clearly marks Route 224 as a major thoroughfare. Rosenberg apparently never saw the side roads she could have used, nor did she pay attention that Google posts were warning about the safety and reliability of its directions with every map search.
It's her own goddamn fault.
Yeah, that's her own fucking fault.
Yep.
I mean, no bright fucking person's gonna walk down a goddamn major highway. It doesn't matter what Google Maps fucking
Agreed.
says.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things you got to take into account, your own situational awareness, right? I mean, you should be smart enough to go, oh, well, maybe this is not a good idea.
Look, I've seen people looking down at their screens, and I've lost count of the amount of times I've seen people walk into shit now when I'm at big shopping centers. It's just like, I never do it. When I go out, I've got a shitty little mobile. I can't read. I don't take my glasses with me, so I can only fucking hit the answer button to read the stupid to answer it, and that's it. I've watched fucking so many people just walk into shit, go whack, and fucking nail themselves. They're zombies. And this person's just followed the map blindly, going, "Do not question Google. Google no." Oh, I'm on a highway. Fuck. Oh,
Google is your overlord.
And I've heard of other stories where people have been driving down bush tracks and stuff and followed Google Maps and ended up with their camper vans stuck in the middle of a creek after it stalls because the engine gets flooded with water.
But doesn't Google even, I mean, there's a disclaimer saying, hey, what, things may not be accurate. I mean, things change, right?
Yeah, they do have the disclaimer. They do.
Yeah, it's fucking mad. I've been using Google Maps and the main highway, they'll block off one of the exits and it won't show up on Google Maps as it's being shut down. It'll still be open on Google. So, yeah, always double check your shit. Never just blindly accept Google Maps as your guide. That would be bad.
You know what? Yeah. I have a disclaimer that works for anything. Just have a disclaimer for every product that says, don't be a dumbass. Yeah. Done. There you go. Simple as that. Yeah. That's all you need. Don't be a dumbass. Use it, put it on every product out there, and they have liability coverage, so they're immune from being
Speaking of dumbasses, this next one, I know about this lawsuit very well, so I don't even have to really read it. I'm just going to talk about it. The man who sued Anheuser-Busch for showing hot women becoming attracted to normal guys. So the commercial, right? Guys who drink the Budweiser or the Busch always had hot chicks around them. This dude goes to a bar, gets an Anheuser-Busch, no hot chicks come to him, so he sues the company.
Because he's drinking I can't even pronounce. He's drinking Anheuser-Busch. Well, yeah, if you go to a bar and drink that, you're probably, you know what? You need to have drink a scotch. Go in, have a scotch.
Or be a man and drink a fucking bourbon.
Or bourbon. Bourbon's good.
I love bourbon. I'm not a major Scotch fan, but it's okay. I've drank some good. It's okay. I guess.
It's okay. I don't know why, but I like brandy in coffee. I
know you said that before.
It's
you
so
like
good.
Brandy. Yeah.
I do.
Brandy's got a nice taste to it. It's got a nice. It's warm and it's kind of comforting. It's a comforting. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I like brandy. I wouldn't drink brandy like to get drunk on.
No.
Oh no. But to sit down and just have a nice little, brandy's all right. Brandy's all right. I love bourbon though. I'm a bourbon guy.
No, I don't Bailey's now. Bailey's for me. Yep. Bailey's or nothing now.
Yeah, Bailey's is on.
It's because my stomach is so piss weak now. It's like I put raw spirits into it now. It feels like I'm being seared from the inside.
Yeah, I have a hard time drinking straight alcohol. Like even a shot of like Jack Daniels would probably kill me. But
as far as mixed drinks, one of my favorite simple mixed drinks is 7 and 7.
Oh, dude! You know what's even better than 7-7? I used to like Cigguras 7 until I tried my first Hennessy in 7.
Oh, really? I've never drank Hennessy in 7.
Motherfucker.
I've drank Hennessy, bro.
Hennessy in 7. Try it. Trust me, it is fucking delish.
All right. Oh my God! Did he just say delish?
Delish.
Did he just say delish?
Oh, I do believe he said delish.
Yeah, it's a delish.
Super
Fabulous.
Dude, my partner's a gay cook. I'm allowed to say certain things like that.
Your partner's gay? Your partner's gay. Okay.
My partner's gay.
I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is.
Yeah, I'm not gay, but you suck one dick. No, he's my partner. He's my quote business partner, I guess.
It's okay. It's okay.
Don't judge me.
Leave Kyle alone. I
know. Let's quit picking on Kyle. I like Kyle. Guy's great, man. You're talking shit about my partner. I'll fuck you up, boy.
Your partner.
See that black guy? I'll give you one on the other side.
Yeah, you could whip my half of my ass for the other half helping you.
No, you kill me. I'm not stupid.
I love it when I'm joking, but I don't know. You're a military guy. You may be able to be a badass, but I love it when like some of these dudes on the computer that I'm looking at, and I know they couldn't fucking whoop half my ass. Yeah, no, they're gonna come out whooping my ass, and I'm like, dude, come on.
Here's the extent. Look, I boxed a little bit in high school. I boxed a little bit in the military. I broke my knuckle. Got boxer's break. I've learned a little self-defense, took a little karate, but I know my limitations, right? I mean, the best thing on self-defense is basically fucking do what you got to do and get the fuck out in your situation where somebody's going to fucking actually hurt you. But I've been in bar fights before. I've had to do my shit. It's not fun. I don't like it. Not gonna say
I've
that.
Been in a few myself. I was in a few myself back in the day. But yeah, they get ridiculous. But I think the people on here is like, I'm like, why are you talking shit to me? If we met in real life, you'd piss your panties. Why are you talking shit to me? I mean, it's just so crazy how the keyboard can make you a badass.
Yeah, no, I mean, I ran into that all the time. I mean, people that come after me, and I'm like, if you really met in real life and you had a live audience and I had a live audience and we have words, I guarantee you're going to get the shit knocked out of you. And I mean that like metaphorically because I'm not a bad person. But I mean, I'm going to engage with them on a level and attack their arguments just like I do on my own channel and other shows. Behind the keyboard, they're like, "Oh, you're just a dumbass. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Steve." Okay, well, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm really proud of myself and a lot because back in the day in my early 20s, I've said this many times. Most of you people who love me now would not like me because I was a different person back then. And back then, I was the type that I was violent first. I mean, that was it. Violence was my game. I mean, I'd fuck you up. But now I try to be logically thinking, try to talk it out and stuff like that. And I'm proud of that. However, sometimes that temperament does come back a little bit. And I'm thinking if you were in front of me, I would choke you the fuck out.
Yeah, sometimes that's okay. I mean, sometimes it is what it is, man. I mean, people talk a lot of shit. And I mean, there are times to be like that. I know you're like me. We're old fashioned. We believe that if somebody fucks with a woman, you're going to intervene and knock that shit off, right? And you're going to tell that person, get the fuck away from her, kind of thing. And I know that you protect chicks, and so there are times where that personage has to come out. And I'm Red is the same way, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. Oh, then again, we all know what happened that day I jumped on that hangout with Rose. We had a good old throwdown, but she gave as good as she got, and I take me hat off to. She's a good sport. She started it. Yeah.
Rose is very good at verbal tongue lashing.
Yeah. She's one of my favorites that I've ever gone toe to toe with on the internet. It's like she just took everything I had and threw some back, and I'm like, she's pretty cool. I like her.
She took everything you had.
There's a big difference in talking
verbally, of course. Verbally.
There's a big difference in talking shit to a woman and beating on a woman. I've talked shit to women online all the time, but
I promise you, there was a 2-hour pre-setting that she set the standard for the day. I didn't come in there and start. She well and truly opened the door and invited me to come in because I entered the hangout and she went, "Who the fuck are you?" And I just went, "Who the fuck are you?" And we kicked it off. And for the next half an hour, it was funny as fuck.
Rose would give even Pimp a run for his money. Yeah.
Yep, she would, boss. You'd actually go, "Wow, this chick doesn't stop."
I got a lot of respect for Rose. She's a nutter. Don't get me wrong. But I know she can hold her own, and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd buy it.
I love a good shit talker. Everybody knows that. I like a good shit talker. I can talk shit with the best of. I can talk shit with the best of. Landon always says to be insulted by Pimp is to be insulted by the best. I'm a pretty good insulter, but I try here lately. Honestly, I'm on this new path of trying to be more positive. And even when people insult me online, I just kind of ignore it sometimes now because I'm trying to, be a more positive person.
A kinder, gentler Pimpmunk.
I am. I'm seriously trying to be a kinder, gentler.
Dude, I respect that. I think that's great. No, seriously, I'm proud of you.
Now there's times where I go off on people, but I think, well, there goes my air conditioner acting stupid. Hold up.
The Russian hackers.
They found you.
But I think with all the bullshit that's going on YouTube, and not dissing anybody, but blood sports and all that shit, if you're into that, fine. But with all these people, at each other's throats and stuff all the time, there needs to be, some kind of more positive, positivity going on. So I'm trying to be the goofy guy who makes people laugh and not be the asshole. But now I do like being an asshole at times.
It takes a little bit of both. I mean, look at, I don't watch blood sports. I just don't get into it. However, we beat blood sports last week. I mean, we basically had a shit show from hell, and yet it was popular. It was very, very popular. Might be
wow,
but it was a total shit show. But sometimes you have to be a little more aggressive. I was very aggressive because I was aggressive. They were being aggressive to me, and I give what I get. And so, I try to be mellow and calm and let's have a good discussion. But you know what? You come at me, I'm going to come right back at you. Not come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Me trying to be more positive is not a fucking invitation for you to be an asshole to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to be an asshole to me, I'm going to be an asshole back. But
here's the thing about blood sports: it's got its time and its place, and I'm an advocate for once in a while throwing down, having a shit show. Like Rum and Coke Night on Steve's channels is some of the most fun I've ever had on the fucking internet. I am serious. We find these people and they are willing to come on and put themselves under a spotlight. And if they're posed, we don't really give a shit. But sometimes we find some fucking nutters and we've had some glorious 2 or 3 hour sessions with these people and they just make the most outrageous claims. And everyone in chat, and I've jumped on a few and gone toe to toe. Like Dolo, he was fantastic. Side note, Dolo's a decent hip hop artist. Have you heard any of his music?
Are you talking about the pilot?
Dolo, yeah, you go and listen to Milk and Honey. That track's really good. I can't believe
he's a wordsmith. I gotta give props to him. The back and throw down. It's so sad that he's so into some weird shit, though. Yeah, I mean,
wasting his talent, and we'll just leave it at that. But Dolo, that track Milk and Honey, that's a fucking good track, dude. Respect for that. The rest of the shit you talk, you're crazy.
No, I appreciate about the Rum and Coke Night. Look, I know we haven't had one in a while. They require a little bit of effort. Plus, I have to be, I have to drink. And I'm not a big drinker, as people may think that I am. I really don't drink that much, and very far and few between because I don't have the stomach for it. But Rum and Coke Night is that night you just say fuck it, right? And we might have one tonight. I have Mr. Atheist coming on and Eric from Talk Heathens tonight after the Non Sequitur show, and maybe we might turn it into Rum and Coke Night. I don't know. I gotta get Pimp on Rum and Coke Night. I've been trying forever.
Yeah.
Come on, I will.
Yeah.
I just Red knows me pretty well, and he knows. Also, we'll go off on a motherfucker.
It's definitely just it's just fun. We're just flicking a bit of mud around. That's all. It's just all not serious. It's there. Take it for what it is.
Yeah, some of the Rum and Coke Nights are clearly better than others, but we try. You can't be a winner every time.
No, you can't. But yeah, I've watched it a little bit before. I have. It's cool. I like it.
Boss, can I jump in and want to raise one? I don't know if it's on your list or not. The Maddox lawsuit. and Dick Masterson, because that was a complete and utter ridiculous lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
Well, I don't know if are you aware of what happened with Dick and he used to run
a little bit.
And Maddox.
Yeah, they ran. What's the name?
Well, he's basically tried to sue him for a bunch of weird shit. I'm pretty sure some people in chat are familiar with what went down, but it's recently got settled, and I think Maddox didn't win. And yeah, it was just a real shame to see all that shit show go down. And it's fucking, who else have we got? Sargon and another YouTuber are currently in court, and she's trying to sue Sargon, saying it wasn't fair use. So these are some of the ridiculous things happening on YouTube. It's like,
Dick Master, is he the guy that went off on Chris Reagan?
Yes. That's what that was all related to, because he sort of went, I can see where Dick Marston's come from, and I'm glad he won, because one of the funniest things was Maddox basically had to admit that he was a bit of a cuck in court, and just that would have been an embarrassing little thing, because he's done videos saying people who pine for their ex-girlfriends, they're shit, and it turns out that he's been pining for his ex-girlfriend over 5 years, and Dick was banging her for a year before he found out. And it's all come out in court. It's like, so that was ridiculous. Like YouTubers ending up in court trying to sue each other.
Well, that's going to happen more and more now that YouTubers are getting more popular and stuff like that. It's going to happen more and more. And you know, I think we all should get together and sue YouTube and get Susan White dumbass out of the fucking boss position of YouTube. I think that's what we need to do, because she is completely fucking YouTube up.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with a lot of the two YouTube shows, especially like the monetization thing. Do you know that Not Sequitur is still unmonetized? Do you know how much fucking we are losing on that channel? I mean, it's ridiculous. That channel is worth some money right now.
Yeah, my main channel
off of it.
My main channel, nobody knows this. I haven't even announced this yet. It just happened the day before yesterday, and I didn't know if I was going to talk about it or not. But my network that I was a part of has dropped me because YouTube is deeming me as a bad boy because I talked about certain products.
Controversial.
Yeah, I'm controversial. So YouTube told pretty much blacklist. I've been on this list for a long time. A lot of people think that I'm one of the targeted ones, and I honestly used to didn't think so, but people have convinced me that I might be, because there was a moment where I was I was white fucking hot, dude. My channel was growing like a motherfucker. And I mean, there was always hundreds of people watching me live. There was, my videos were booming with thousands of views. And then all of a sudden, YouTube went fucking crazy with me. And it started, long before it got to everybody else. And, so it seems like, and I'm not saying I am part of a list, but it sometimes seems that I am. I know that I'm targeted by people who use the flagging system as a weapon. They have weaponized the flagging system. That's the reason the flagging system on YouTube is a fucking joke. It is a fucking joke, dude. Anybody can flag you, and it's just the what's it called? The terms of service. On YouTube is so wishy-washy. I read a lot of it that one day, and he was like, nobody can really understand this shit.
Yeah, it's very convoluted, and they have trusted
flag. Vague.
Yeah, it is vague, because they want it that way. They want generalities, because then they can say, well, this meets this criteria, and you could be demonetized because of this. I mean, look at Godless Engineer. He got fucking flagged because one of his videos, and it's just like, are you kidding? Because he was talking about Islam.
Yeah,
and let's talk about Islam.
Let's touch on what they did to Bearing. All right, Bearing was advertising the CBD oils. Right, they nailed him for that. Guess what's on Google approved AdSense fucking advertiser list? So this is a YouTube approved fucking list from AdSense, because they're all in. It's just one big mob. That company is on that fucking list. Now, Trusted Flagger magically gets Bearing's channel back. And I reckon if I went digging and I had a look for that Kratom, the Special K company that got started all our trouble, we'll find them on that fucking list too. I'm putting a $10 bet down now. If I'm wrong, I'll donate $10 to myself. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been flagged before. I've had people come after my channel, and I've had to respond to YouTube on it. And every single time I write I write a lot to YouTube when I have somebody tries to fuck with me, and I explain in detail. I give timestamp. I mean, I do the whole 9 yards. I've never once had him write back anything going, okay, you know, you were at fault. Every time it's like you're vindicated, because I make sure I don't do anything that can be considered to be a violation of TOS. But people still they try, and it's annoying. But a lot of times I think that they will get their channel marked if they false flag something, right? And they think it's actually attached to their Gmail account, and so that Gmail, I mean, might get flagged too. I don't know what they're trying to do as far as punitive against these people, but I've seen a lot more on certain networks that'll even say don't abuse this flagging system because it basically will come back and bite you in the ass. Oh, is Pimp frozen, or is he just stunned?
Pimp's deep in thought right now and fuming at the fucking whole shit show that's on right now.
Okay.
He's melting like he's just he's basically just gone supernova inside his own mind, but he's not externalizing it.
Yeah,
I haven't, well, Red knows the shit that I've had to deal with lately. And it's so frustrating because honestly, most YouTubers do nothing on here but talk. Seriously, that's what we do. We talk. If you're, I should be able, and I'm going to use this extreme example here. I should be able to say, I like throwing babies against the wall. If I'm not actually throwing babies against the fucking wall on the video, then YouTube shouldn't do shit. Talking is the one gift that we have that everybody should be able to fucking use.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think that people should be expressed their points of views. And I think that, you know, YouTube is actually catering to their advertisers clearly.
And here's the thing. I got to think about that still. I do. Okay, they try to do that with TV so many times, right? The advertisers try to scare these TV shows. You know what? Most of the time, what the TV shows do, they say, fuck you. They keep going, and then the advertisers come back. You know why? Because people are going to watch. And if YouTube would just say, hey, we're going to let our content creators be creators and do their own thing, the advertisers they may threaten, but they're not going anywhere.
No. They know that it makes them money, right?
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And you're right, because a lot of us, you know, I used to make some videos, but I'm not very good at making videos like other content creators. Just not my thing. My thing is I like to have real-time discussions about topical things, just like you do. Only my things tend to go to more philosophy, science, theological, those kind of things, right? And that's a skill set of its own. But for YouTube to come in and say, hey, look, these are controversial subjects and you can't speak about them, then they're destroying their own platform, because a few of us, that's what we like to do. We like to live stream and talk about topics.
Yeah. And well, I've been marked as an activist for a long time for like different things I'm not even an activist for. Now, I used to be more of the one that talked about religion a lot and stuff like that when I first started doing it. But then I kind of slipped off into my own, basically focusing more on just being comical and doing comedy things. And, you know, but people, man, dude, the reason Shara and me took a long, we had the same friends for a long time and we never were friends. The reason was, there was a lot of people that went to her and told her that I was like this MGTOW motherfucker, that I didn't like women, that I was a sexist and all this shit. I was just so bad. And people came to me and told me that she was this ultra left feminist SJW type that hated me and all this shit. So we didn't really talk because we thought each other hated each other. Then we got to talking and we both realized that those people are full of shit.
That doesn't describe either of you two. Not at all.
No, it doesn't describe it. She's like, Pimp. She even said it one time publicly. She said, Pimp respects women more than most men. Yeah, I may talk, you know, the perverted shit at times, but it's a joke, right? It's comedy. It's comedy. I am very frugal. What's the word? Is it frugal? No, not frugal.
That means cheap.
Yeah, what's like prudish? There you go.
I'm prudish. Okay.
Yeah, like very prudish when it comes to talking about sex offline. It really am. I mean, all these kinky motherfuckers, and I'm like, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm vanilla, so I'm on the same boat as you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, you can't take 5 minutes of a video and judge someone of their whole life. You just can't do that.
But
go ahead.
I said, you know, it's funny that you had said that there are people that told you one thing and told her another. Mm-hmm. I've also had experience just like that. And it is funny because you will talk to the person and then you go, fuck, yeah, that's, you know what, I heard this, but, you know, I want to ask you about it. And they would say the same thing. And then realize it's just people talking shit and people causing drama. And you know what, once you extricate those people off your platform and you don't bother with them, you don't acknowledge them, you don't respond to them, they go away.
Yeah, most of them do.
Most.
Some people are obsessed.
Yeah, I mean, like the Geek Room, they're obsessed with us.
Geek Room, but that dude Frank's fucking gay, man.
Yeah, no, but he's got a nice ass.
He's a fucking bitch.
Doesn't talk much on stream, though. He just sits there like Silent Bob half the time.
His sister goes, look at my hair. It is fabulous.
But
here's the thing about Shaya and a lot of folks. I'm not into feminism. I'm definitely not into MGTOW and incel and all that shit. Yeah. I'm into human rights and equality. And I know Shara might use a certain label and say, yes, she's a feminist. I see her as she's into human rights and making sure everyone's having a fair fucking crack of the whip.
I think she's a real feminist. I think she's a real feminist. I'm a feminist. I like to think I'm a real feminist. I'm not this third wave stupid shit.
Yeah, no, I've thrown away that. Yeah, I just go. You're a human rights activist, like I am, and most people actually fucking are. And they say I'm a feminist, let's throw away the femi and all of that shit because Big Red's ruined that word for everybody. I think we can all agree that Big Red ruined the word feminism. I'm kidding, but yeah, just Shayra's will fucking help people. She's a good person,
Shayra. And that's like red is red. Steve is that's the thing about people is that you got to be one thing. Like it's so funny. This happened in one video, dude. I am not lying. And in one video, I got these two different comments. I got a comment from a white dude and a comment from a black guy. The black guy called me a racist. The white guy called me a wigger in the same fucking video.
Yeah, no, it's weird how people look at the same thing and see different things, you know?
Yeah, it's so weird. And it's like, everybody's gotta be black or white. What about gray?
Yeah. I had a real good one with the dude on Facebook one day, and he posted something about Antifa, and I just went, look, I'd say the majority of Antifa are just sport rich kids that are having a temper tantrum and lighting some shit on fire while wearing their hoodies and a mask because Marvel Comics. And when I said I don't agree with that, he's basically said, so you're a Trump supporter? Like, no, I think Trump and the alt-right are fucking idiots and white supremacists are fucking idiots, and I think everyone on the extreme left are fucking idiots, and I'm hanging in there in the middle with cool people eating pizza. What are you up to? And he said, fuck you, you're an alt-right Nazi, get fucked.
Yeah, you can't win. Even if you're moderate, you can't win.
Yeah, you can't win. It's like,
I just told you I'm fucking sitting in the center having pizza with everyone. Come on in and let's calm down. He went, fuck you, you're a Nazi again, and then blocked me on Facebook. And I'm like,
and I'm a Satanist, so you know, whatever. I gotta
but just recently on a couple nights ago when we did the Alter Perspective, we talked about Trump, and I said something, and I got some people hating on me. I said, I do believe that, look, the media does unfairly target him at times. They do.
Well, I'm not going to deny that, but I think a lot of his shit is because of his own, doing.
It is. A lot of it is. But
I think the media doesn't care about the truth any longer. The media just wants the story.
When he said that MS-13, some of the Mexicans in that gang were animals, everybody tried to make it seem like he said that all Mexicans were animals, and that's not true. He didn't say that.
Right. No,
he was talking about the gang members. Yeah. So at times that he is unfairly targeted. But I was called a Trump supporter. This shit alt-right. Again, when I talk shit on Trump, I'm called a leftist extremist, a pussy, an SJW. Yeah. You can't win with these people, man.
I want to give everyone a reminder. Now, just before Trump was declared fucking president in the months leading up to that election, Pimp was saying, not going to prejudge him. Well, let's give him a fucking chance and see what he does. Now, we're a year in. He's pretty well fucking screwed the pooch. We can all agree. When Rudy Giuliani gets out and says, we actually think that Mr. Trump could pardon himself if he's just like, yeah, and it would be the end of your fucking political career. And
Giuliani has lost his fucking mind, dude.
That was bizarre.
No, but apparently legally, Trump can.
I don't think
there's nothing in the law books, and I read the article, and the guys in ABC in Australia really researched the articles, and they said there's nothing in the law books preventing him from doing so. But the moment he does so, he would be impeached and piffed.
Okay, here's the problem. Here's a couple problems. Yes, I think that Giuliani lost his fucking mind. Why did he mention Comey, James Comey, and a gun? I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, I don't. Okay, first of all, I don't know the legality of Trump being able to pardon himself. Nobody's ever put that to the test. Would he be impeached? Yes. I mean, but we don't want a president that is above the law. We don't want a president that's immune from prosecution. And I think that, again, Trump making policy via Twitter, not a good idea. Discussing policy like that via Twitter, not a good idea. And even saying something along those lines of, you know what, I could pardon myself, puts him at a very low perspective from the American people, because the American people do not want a fucking dictator. Even if that was the case, even if he could legally pardon himself, why the fuck would you say that on Twitter? Because you're already disliked to begin with, and people already think that you're kind of a dictator, and then you say something like that?
Yeah. Now, I want to make this clear that I'm not trying to say, oh, yes, Trump can pardon himself. That's great. No, that's horrible. It's like the nepotism taking place in your country right now. I think there's laws against it, but there's nobody doing shit. Trump's a fucking disaster, and somebody take his fucking mobile device off him so he can't tweet. Your country will be 10 times better off in a week. The stock market will stop fluctuating violently. It's like he tweeted once and they bled $70 billion off the value of the Australian stock market in a day, and about 60 million of that happened in 7 minutes after Trump went, and he'd enter and tweeted it, and the stock market went and fell off a cliff.
You know, I also think, though, and Pimpin mentioned this earlier, you know, people tend to think in black and white, right? We have a very dichotomous society any longer. And I was going to actually write a blog on this very thing. Maybe I will start it tonight, because I have a blog that I write. So I was going to write a blog piece on this very notion that everything is dichotomous. Even like classical logic, you know, is true or false. And that's not necessarily true in other forms of logic. So, you know, I think that because we look at things so black and white, so what they call bivalence, I think that it gives us a very low resolution to the map of our reality. And it's a shame, because I think that if we had more nuance, if we had more opinions and more moderate things, and not having to be so black and white, things aren't always true and false. Sorry, people. I know that a lot of people love that. Oh, it's either true or false. You either believe or you don't believe, that kind of crap. Not necessarily the case. And there are types of situations where those do not hold to be true. And so I think that it's because of YouTube. It's because of this notion that you have to think one way or you have to think another way. There is no middle ground. And that's just bullshit. It's straight up wrong.
Yeah. And this is where I will give the Blood Sports and the Morning Kumite and all that. They did let people like fucking Richard Spencer on to talk. And now you can at least hear what he's got to say. And you need to hear what he's got to say before you just label him as a fucking Nazi. Yes, he's a white supremacist douchebag. But I don't think he wants to go around. He's not going to go around murdering black people because he wants to bring about a white ethno state. He knows that's not a feasible option. He will get killed very quickly.
Accusing him of that. No, I don't ever accusing him of that.
Well, you hear a lot of shit talk. It's like Nazi ethno state wants to kill all the blacks. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Just some of them.
There's always a fringe among the fringe, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a percentage of a percentage of a percentage. There's always one rotten fucking apple in the barrel. And it's just like, can we just throw the rotten apple away and keep the rest of the barrel instead, you know? So people like Trump, some people like the Democrats, yeah, that's great. Everyone that likes Trump is not a Nazi, and everyone that likes the Democrats is not a member of Antifa. You know, there's a big cool grey mush in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump in.
Okay, we're gonna kind of get back on track again.
Roger,
okay, what the hell is the topic of this particular morning?
Here's one: suicidal person sues subway train authority. The first time Milo Stevens Jr. tried to commit suicide, he did it by jumping in front of a subway train as it pulled into an East Manhattan station way back in 1977. He didn't die, but the aftermath was pretty brutal. We'll just say Stevens didn't emerge from the incident in one piece. A few months later, the family was able to find an enterprising personal injury lawyer who gave a whole new meaning to the term personal injury. In legal circumstances, with his help, the family sued the New York City Transit Authority for $650,000, and the and the guys that the driver of the train did not slow down the car in time, and thus was to blame for injuring Stevens, even though he willingly put himself in harm's way.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, again, if you're over a certain amount of fault, you have the liability. Clearly, he had liability because he jumped in front of the.
But guess what?
Astonishingly,
they won.
Yeah, wow.
And the personal injuries weren't so personal anymore. Strangely, Stevens tried to kill himself again using the same method in 1982, which means that either he needs some serious medical help or he burned through that money faster than MC Hammer.
You need some money, jump in front of a train. No, I don't recommend that.
I can't believe they won.
Again, I'm wondering how much more detail there are to these stories, because on face value, they seem so extreme that you think to yourself, how does this fucking happen? Because in no realm of reality can I think of a situation where you try to kill yourself, you fail, and you're able to sue. It's like, okay, they didn't properly kill me.
Sorry, I froze up for a second, but yeah, that's fucking crazy. Dude,
yeah, so it's sort of like you're saying, listen, tried to kill myself, but these employees held me down on the track, and it's
not like saying, wait a minute, I bought a gun to kill myself, and I shot, and it basically didn't kill me. I'm going to sue the manufacturer of the firearm.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded.
That's a good example. I mean, that's fucking stupid. It's like, a fat person suing restaurants and stuff for making. I mean, that happens. That has happened. There's been people who sued like McDonald's because they're fat.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, don't put food in the hole in your face. You'll stop getting bigger. Or if you keep getting bigger, go see a doctor. You might have a medical condition that they can help with.
Here's one for Red. Man sues park for not labeling bathrooms well enough.
Okay.
Back in 1995, while attending a Billy Joel concert, well, there you go. He should be sued for that. I'm joking. I like Billy Joel. At Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, Robert Glazer felt nature calling and went to relieve himself. Little did he know that the bathroom at the stadium were unisex, which is 100% inappropriate at a Billy Joel concert. Well, I guess that's the writer saying that. When he got there, he found a shocking sight: a woman using the urinal to pee. What? The urinal?
What? Unisex. I understand unisex bathrooms, but that's not generally what happens in a unisex bathroom. There is actually stalls, it's partition, and in a lot of countries that's the way it is a norm. Even in Japan, they don't even have the partitions. You have fucking just holes in the ground. That people
I can answer why she did it. Have you ever seen a lineup at the fucking concerts and compare the lineup to men versus women, and go and look at the lineups next time you're at a concert? I guarantee you, there's fuck all people at the men's. There's a massive lineup at the women's.
I agree.
And she actually wanted to PP instead of go in and talk shit with her friend, and she needed to just her back teeth were floating, and she's just basically going, I'm going for it.
Is that going to psychologically damage you to see a woman urinate in the urinal?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because it says this traumatized Glazer and turned his wee little problem into a big one. He went around the entire stadium to find a place to pee in peace, but all he found were women in the restrooms. Terrified at the idea that one of them would suddenly pull down their pants and crouch over the urinals, or that he was in the ladies' restroom and therefore breaking rules, he resolved to hold it in for 4 hours. This emotional distress and embarrassment that he suffered were later used as complaints in the lawsuit he filed against the stadium and the city of San Diego for $5.4 million. He lost, though. He lost, and to this day, women still have the chance to use that.
These motherfuckers need help.
This motherfucker needs an ass whooping, is what he needs.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta wonder how these people survive. I don't know. And then you wonder, are they really that? I mean, look at if somebody actually has emotional distress, that's one thing, and even still, it's still fucking stupid. Okay, but half the time you wonder, are they just making this shit up so they can sue?
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, America is the land of lawsuits, anyway. I mean, it's
such a society.
A term called ambulance chaser exists because of your country.
Yeah. We are I think we do have more lawsuits than any other place on the planet, and it's ridiculous.
Actually, I think China is got some. They're catching up, and I've actually there was a story. I'll quickly touch on it. It's when you have an accident in China and you run someone over. What usually happens is instead of helping that person, they'll get in their car, they'll back up over and run them over again and try and kill them because it's cheaper and easier to get away with killing the person that isn't injuring them in China at the moment with the way the laws are. That's seriously, it's a fact.
Like that. Yeah. But you know what? I mean, in Australia, everything fucking kills you. You walk outside, you're taking life, in your hands. So I would still rather live here with a litigious society than shit you got to motherfucking deal with down there, man. I've seen the crap that lives down there.
See, in America, we would just sue the animals for killing us.
Exactly. Sue the red bats. Exactly.
This story makes me think of something. I'm going off reservation again because this story makes me think of something. Today, with this Me Too movement, right? I would be scared to use a unisex bathroom.
Oh, I wouldn't go in one.
I would. I mean, honestly, I'm terrified to use those bathrooms because with this look, I think a lot of this Me Too movement's good. I think a lot of it's fucking horrifyingly bullshit, and it's taking over now. And with the Me Too movement, it's not about rape anymore. It's about harassment. A woman could say, "Oh, he looked at me and started saying," it's that simple. So I wouldn't use a unisex bathroom.
I will just say this: ruining a man's career using trial by media is not empowerment.
Yeah,
that's bullying and intimidation. Yeah. And fuck you for doing it. If you're doing it, fuck you.
It just happened to Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, and it's happened to a lot of people.
Except he stood up and flopped his cock out and he went, "Get fucked, ladies."
He really did.
Yeah, Morgan didn't take that shit set down. He's like, "Fuck you."
He didn't.
Yeah. But it's just happening to everybody. All these, it seems like every day now there's some kind of entertainment guy getting shit on, and it's just ridiculous. But you got to be careful when you talk about this shit because you don't want to hurt a real victim's feelings. But look, if she's lying, she's not the victim; he is. So it's thin ice. It's kind of, you got to be kind of careful to walk around that subject. But yeah, it's bullshit, man. It's crazy. Mike, this next one, I've heard about this one. A man sues Michael Jordan for looking like him because he looked like him. Alan Heckard would like you to know he is not Michael Jordan, and he would appreciate it if you stop calling him that. Using his own legal words, the years spent dealing with this defamation, permanent injury, and emotional. I know this story. Basically, he claimed that he had all these mental problems because people compared him to Michael Jordan, and it fucked with his life. So he's suing Michael Jordan.
Yeah. How about mate? You should actually just do appearances on behalf of Michael and get paid. Yeah.
Be a celebrity impersonator.
Yeah. You don't get to sue people because you look like someone else and because you get mistaken for them. That's not their fucking fault, is it? You need to sue each individual that makes the actual mistake of thinking that you're not. Why are you suing the guy that you look like? It's not even his fault. You're a retard, sir.
I can understand if you look like what's his name that raped all those women, but Michael Jordan, why would you get mad about that, dude? This guy gets pussy at the drop of a fucking second. I would use that shit.
Hell yeah. I'd walk into Nike and just say, "Yo, need some new shoes and maybe a new hoodie and some sweatpants."
It's ridiculous. It's
just fill up my boot of my car with some hoodies and shoes, man.
All right, well, here's the last one. Here's the last one we're going to talk about. Music industry sues dead woman's daughter.
Okay.
In a way, you have to feel bad for the Recording Industry Association of America. Ever since the digital presence of the internet became an established part of music culture, it must really suck to see people steal over and over and over again. Once was the lucrative gains from selling records and have pretty much no power in stopping them. All that's left in the law are RIAA. What it says, lawsuits have increased triple fold. It seems that it doesn't take much to get sued by them. Even the smallest or most insignificant detail can convince the RIA to press charges like, let's say, a death certificate.
Yeah, back in the day, it's the Recording Industry Association of America. They used to go around suing everybody, such as with Napster back in the Napster days. And if you had downloaded any content, the RIAA went after your ass, and people were actually sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars for downloading stuff. And they were basically a bullying group for the most part.
Yeah. Gertrude Walton was accused by the RIAA of making over 700 songs available to illegally download on the internet, despite testimonials from her daughter that M's Walton hated computers and being sent the official death certificate as a response to the warning letter. The RIAA no less decided that Mrs. Walton deserved to be sued. Mrs. Walton was not available to retaliate or defend herself, since at the time she was something Greenwood Memorial Park. Probably addressed complaints to Mrs. Walton were sent to an RIAA spokesman said they would try to dismiss the case, anyways. Yeah, what Steve said. They went around suing dead people. They'd sue everybody.
Yeah, no, they did. They literally. It was like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. They just blanketly, sued people. And if I remember correctly, they got their webpage taken down by like Anonymous or something, because they were so people hated them.
Anonymous
don't hear anything from anymore.
Anonymous did get them. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember there used to be a warning on about piracy, and there was a guy that got caught up in some law like this, and combined with the 3 strikes law, this dude had a friend around that bought a copy of a pirated copy of all movies, fucking Xanadu, Olivia Newton-John, and the cops raided the house that he was there while the friend was there with the pirated copy. He went to jail for a couple of years for having a pirated copy of Xanadu in his fucking house.
You don't mess with Xanadu, man. I love Olivia.
No, I will
Olivia
say
Newton Bomb will fuck you in the ass.
As someone who used to actually burn DVDs and CDs and sell
allegedly.
them,
Allegedly.
But I will say this. If you can afford the music, pay for it.
Yep.
I used to buy tapes and CDs and stuff like that.
But it's. I mean, because it is their job. Just like YouTubers, man, getting fucked over. They are musicians and they are getting fucked over.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Most of the music I listen to is older shit. So I don't listen to any of the new stuff anyways. So I have no interest in buying any of their albums because I think most modern music sucks.
So I just usually go to YouTube if I want to hear some music. It's all over YouTube.
Yeah, I just go listen to you rap or something,
Well, which I suck at.
No, you can throw it down. You're not about it.
I'm pretty decent. I'm not amazing.
You're no G-man or anything, but you're okay.
Yeah, but I'm actually recording a song. Me and Marshall Manson is working on a song together, and we're gonna make a video. Yeah, Red Eye's actually heard a bit of it, and he can tell you it's pretty badass.
I don't disbelieve that. So yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make a professional video and everything. It's gonna be funny. The song's got a sense of humor, and it's also, it's kind of badass Southern style kind of rap. It's pretty badass. I like it. I enjoy it. It's all my lyrics and it's all his music. So, and Marshall Manson is a very talented guy.
As long as you enjoy it, that's what it is all about, man. You got to enjoy it.
Marshall, Marshall's gonna be at the DFF's doing a meetup in LA or something. I can't remember, and Marshall's gonna be performing at the meetup. So he's very talented. He's a very talented guy. And I like the dude. He comes on the show all the time. Red Eye wants to suck his dick, I believe.
Red Eye likes that with a lot of people. He's after. Yeah.
I'd consider giving him a reach around.
Yeah. Well, I have decided that I'm going to sue Onision because I'm confused if he's a guy or a girl.
It's questionable.
Yeah. And I'm going to sue Steve McRae.
Motion of distress.
For because your tank tickler didn't do the proper job.
Yeah, well, wait till it gets longer, then I'll hook up with you again.
Yeah, I want the tail end to go between my taint into my asshole, and it didn't work.
I always tell people, man, I don't come with the money back guarantee. Don't have high expectations. I give advance warning.
Yeah.
Well, in the spirit of the show, I'm going to sue all of the American school teachers for the fact that there are some people on this planet that think there's a flat Earth. It's just their fault. I'm just going to blame them arbitrarily for something to do because that's what you do in America is you sue people. So coming for you, teachers of America, coming for you.
And I'm going to sue the Geek Room for exposing me to Rain Florence.
And I'm suing Steve for that fucking trash fire the other day with fucking Dell and that. Oh, good.
That came with a warning label. That came with a warning label.
No, I'm still, my brain is oozing out my nose. It's like I've had to put corks up there to stop it.
I am so proud of the fact that we had promised a total shit show. We delivered a total shit show.
Well, it was far more than that. I've never seen anything quite like it, Steve.
What it's funny is, and I know we're off the topic, sorry, but Dell was hostile before he even started that fucking show. And I've never talked to Dell in my life, nor Gab. I have no communication with them. This was all done via other people. He came in and just guns a-blazing. He wanted a piece of me, and I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I'm not the one you're having a conversation with. We will be talking, but I have other guests here, Reds and Gem Panda. These are the people that you asked for because you said, bring us our best. Those two motherfuckers are the best. And they were pissed. They were like, they weren't supposed to be any other people here. We were just going to have a conversation with Steve McRae. I'm like, oh, no, we fucking weren't. Nobody ever told you that, motherfucker.
Yeah, please go and watch the show. It's on the non-sex show. You can't miss it. It's the Flat Earth trash can fire.
The dumpster fire of YouTube, yeah.
Well, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes of the show. And... So
that's right. We started a bit late, didn't we?
Yeah, we just started a bit late. And so, fuck it, I don't care. They get it for free. But it is tip time. It is tip time, baby. I want that fucking money. Okay. If you can tip, please do. I'm broken and shit. All my money. What?
Jump in the hot tub.
In the hot tub. Everybody's like, you can't rely on that guy. You do realize, yes, I made a lot of money on that flag, but I spent a lot of money after I made that money. So it is, if you can tip, please do. Patreons, we need new Patreons. And starting next month, the month of July, from every month, every first Sunday of the month, there will be the Patreon show. So we're looking forward to that. And so if you become a Patreon, boom, you can do it. And also, if you're $1 above Patreon, Discord, everybody gets Discord. The Patreon Discord. Go ahead.
Speaking of Discord, did you guys hear that this? I looked into this. It seems legit. Anita Sarkeesian did a fundraiser for $25,000 to set up a free fucking Discord.
Yes.
Yep,
fuck you, Anita. You are a piece of shit. I am sorry, but what the fuck mindset does a fundraiser for something that is fucking free? What the fuck is wrong with you?
She's
Landon.
Been in this from day one. She's saw a marketing fucking guru give a speech, and then that lit a fire underneath her. And ever since then, she realized that feminism thing.
Fem freak.
Yeah, it's no longer Hallmark holidays. I watched a good video on it. Fuck, who did it? And it's about fucking signal virtuing and fucking like gay pride month and black fucking pride and fucking all of these different fucking things. It's no longer Hallmark holidays. They get you in there to buy the merch now. Go and have a look at how many things are on sale right now with the rainbow fucking symbol on it.
Yeah, I totally believe that. And nothing surprises me anymore, especially when it comes to people like Anita Sarkeesian. And I think that we might actually bring back Rags, YouTuber, and also to come in and talk about that, because I You know, they're really big into that shit because I'm just disgusted by that because, you know, things like Discord, it's free. It should be free. Now, obviously, you know, people that have Patreon, it totally they get special channels and stuff like that. All for that kind of stuff. But setting it up to Discord itself doesn't take $25,000.
No, absolutely not. We set this Discord up and put the dollar on there. It's like a gateway just to keep the fucking whole internet out of flooding the joint with
absolutely. Nothing wrong with
Keeping
that.
The trolls, I did get a $4.20 tip from Oculus. Her message was loving the stream. Want to see me wearing my Pimpette shirt? Absolutely. Friday, you can come on the show with your Pimpette shirt. It's not. Everybody thinks I was saying Pimpette for a long time. Let me be clear. I wasn't saying Pimpette. It's Pimpette.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, it's Pimpette. It's a play on both the words, like you're my little pet and your Pimpette. It's a play on the word. So people thought, well, you spelled it wrong on the shirt. No, I didn't. I spelled it the way I wanted to. I mean, well, it's not how you spell it. How do you spell a word that I made up?
Any way you want.
Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as Pimpmunk either, goddamn it. I mean,
and by the way, don't give this guy any attention. But like I tweeted out this particular episode on Twitter, right? So people come watch. A flat earther decided to post a flat earth bullshit on this. It's like, what the fuck does this? We're not even talking about flat earth yet. They still need. See, they followed me over there, and they underneath that tweet, they decided to put something about flat earth, and I'm like, fuck off. Just
yeah. You just point at him and go, oh, look, it's retarded.
Yeah, I'm so over it, right? And I even tell these people, look, if you have something to present it, but don't come to me with this fucking lame ass bullshit about NASA and crap like that. Not worth my time. You're not going to get my attention. Sorry. Now, if you said, hey, Steve, I have a flat Earth model that I know describes observations, you got my motherfucking attention.
Yeah, gonna shove one. I just want to do a fundraiser. Shove one on a Virgin Galactic flight. Strap a GoPro to their fucking forehead and just wait for them to land, and just go, well, say sorry and fuck off.
I got a $5 tip on Discord from Purge. Says just the tip. That's what he said. Thank you, Purge. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Or madam, I'm not sure which one.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but when they tip, I have to announce.
Absolutely.
It, so.
No, absolutely, yeah. Tell me to shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up, Steve. Oh, I mean, Red.
Oh, you're actually right there. No, I'm going to sort of self-dox. My first name is Steve, so that just confuses me even more.
I was actually talking to Steve. I wasn't.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You're trying to dox. Yep, two Steves at once.
I wasn't even trying to dox you faggot.
I doxed myself on one of Nerdy's streams over a year ago just to get it out of the road. So if anyone thinks, I'm going to dox Red Ice, like, no, I doxed myself over a fucking year ago. Get over it.
But I do have an argument that names aren't really doxing, but that's just me.
Yeah, they are. But you know what? I do have a friend in Australia. I'm not kidding. I have a friend in Australia. Guess what his name is? Steve McCurdy.
Oh, shit.
Spelled exactly the same way.
I don't think in dropping somebody's name is doxing.
Big ass motherfucker in Australian too. But a nice guy. But we've been friends for a long time because we have the same name.
No, I gave enough details to get.
Yeah.
You could pull up out the front of my fucking house and go, hello. I'll just
okay, well that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
But like when you say, like, if let's say you're going by name Fruit of Loom on YouTube, and I say his name is John Clark, there's a million John Clark. If I don't say he's John Clark in, Marksville, Delaware, then you wouldn't fucking know, right? So I don't think name. I don't buy that.
I did my full address.
There's nothing to buy. It's a fact. There's nothing to buy. It's a fact.
I mean, but still, you're giving. I mean, people. You're saying that if a person has non-unique name, then you're not really doxing them. But you still are. You're giving out more information that they don't want to give out.
That's bullshit.
But I've doxed myself. People know where the fuck I live. Anybody who wants to find me, come find me. Come join us. But I don't think they want to come over if they're hostile. By the way, because we have all ex-military here.
Well, just call dox. This is the way I like to define doxing. If you're doing it to try as a tactic of intimidation or to cause fear, that's where you've got to see that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, buddy.
Like me going, my name is Stephen Hattersley. No big drama. Like I said, you guys have all got me on Facebook. Everyone that's got me on Facebook knows this already.
So I know you're
right. So I'm not hiding. I just don't use like Stephen Hattersley would be a really fucking lame username on fucking YouTube, but Red Eye is silence. It ties into a whole bunch of cool shit that I used to do, including my old gaming squad. Because I don't give a fuck who knows what my name is. Again, Stephen Hattersley, spelt with a V.
Yeah, he lives on Coleman Street in Boston.
Hey.
And he's wanted for. Oh wait.
He works.
Allegedly.
He works at the United States Postal Service.
What? Oh, God damn it.
But anyways.
Yeah, Google map that shit and jump onto the white pages. Queensland. Oh, there you go. I'll even give you the state, Queensland. There's not many of me. There's like one or two of me, and I'm in the southeast corner. There you go. Send that fucking drone.
Here's one of the funniest things ever. The dude thought he was doxing me. He went and did all this research right to find my real name. He came on the chat room and say, "Hey guys, his real name is John Crawley." Someone in the chat room said, "Yeah, it's in his about me page."
Wow. That's pretty sad. Oh no, I have the same thing. Do you know how many times G-Man has threatened to dox me? And I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna dox? I use my real name, my real address, my real info. I have my real name on my Facebook. I'm not that fucking secretive about shit. I have no reason to be. Yeah. But I don't understand how you can dox somebody that what do they want to know from me? I want my bank account number. There's nothing in it. You know.
I just think when people wants to go by their nickname like Pimpmunk or whatever. Look, if you're going to be in the public eye, people are going to learn your real name.
Probably.
They're going to learn your real name.
There's no that chance. Yeah.
Yeah. With if people start giving your address, where you work, and all that shit, that's fucking extreme and that's stupid and that's bad. But people are going to learn your fucking name.
Yeah, I definitely get upset when people talk about people's work and they say,
"Yeah, that's stupid. That's bad.
I'm going to their work." Don't fucking do that shit, dude.
Yeah, that's horrible.
People that go to fuck with people's jobs because they're on the internet, you're a piece of shit.
Yes, you are you're straight up piece of shit, majorly piece of shit. But yeah, that's different. That is totally different to me than knowing someone's name. I don't give a fuck if people know my name. But now I haven't this address, but the house I lived at before we moved here, I put my shit on Google Maps one night live and showed them my house and everything.
Oh yeah, people could find me. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's easy to find people. It's easy.
I'm not gonna have like, first of all, if you're like I said, if somebody wanted to cause me harm, they're gonna be in for a rude awakening. But I mean, I'm not gonna have like Luna come by, unfortunately. By the way, Luna, I'll give you my address. Come by, we'll have lunch. It won't be anybody like her.
Luna's gonna lick my balls.
On video?
No, privately.
It never happened.
She's gonna be my private dancer for money. Anyways, let me see.
Yeah, I just want to quickly address something. Seriously, if you try to swap me, my ex-missus works for the police, and I will get a phone call from her, and she will ask me, "Who are you trolling on the internet to piss off enough that they're trying to do the swatting thing here in Australia?" Because, because not everybody has guns, and I'll quickly look up and say, doesn't have any guns, so.
Well, that's horrible, by the way. If you swat somebody, you're a piece of fucking maggot shit.
Yeah, in America, it's a very different fucking ball game in America. Out here, you try to swat people, it's really not going to work out the way Americans think it's going to pan out. It doesn't work like that.
And we've had the sheriffs over here well over a dozen times. They all know us. We're all our things are licensed. They're totally cool with us because we had one bad roommate, as you guys know.
But But like Red said, here in America, swatting is different because people could get killed.
Yeah, people have been killed. Recently, that dude opened the door up and flinched, was nervous because he saw an arc of police surrounding him, and one of the coppers was also very nervous and went bang, and his family had to walk over his fucking dead body. That's the outcome of that whole thing because someone wanted to do some swatting, or because what you fucking flexed on the internet, someone flexed back, and you felt dissed. Or whatever the kids say.
They got arrested, right? I mean, that person who did that got arrested.
I'm pretty sure whoever did it's fucked. Unless what's the old school way they used to use that box and make phone calls and you couldn't track the phone call? I forget.
Black box or
they're using those things to swat. That's how they're doing it and not getting caught.
Oh, there's always ways to get caught nowadays. You have no anonymity any longer. Don't think that you have anonymity. You don't.
No, it's hard to have. Yeah, it's hard. But anyways, guys, I think it's time to go now. I went ahead and gave it just about much time as I was late. I was trying to, make up for that. I appreciate everyone watching. I really do. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it, and I thank Steve for joining us today, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You actually showed up. That's what shocked me. Yeah,
well,
you son of a bitch.
I will try my damnedest anytime you invite me.
And let me know the next time you do a rum and coke.
I'm considering it tonight.
If it's tonight, I can't do it. But because I got some shit I got to do tonight. But if next week or something, if you do one, let me know and I'll show
definitely. And I'll ask my guest tonight if Mr. Atheist and Eric want to rum and coke. Maybe I have to be up to it. I wasn't feeling too well last night. I actually had plans to land and I had to cancel. But I slept really well. My stomach's still a little iffy, but we'll see what happens tonight after the non sequitur show.
Well, that's cool. Anyways, guys, thank you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. I may be live tonight. I'm not sure. I got to see what's happening, but it'll be late. It'll be really late. So I probably won't be because I got something going on. But make sure you check out tomorrow, Landon's show. That's going to be Landon's show tomorrow. That's right. He's going to be doing all kind of whatever Landon does. He's probably going to talk about having sex with poodles. Because Landon's a poodle pounder.
God, I had no idea.
He's a poodle pounder. But yeah, it'll be very enjoyable. I think he's going to be talking about volcanoes, I do believe.
Oh, that ought to be interesting. I was trying to find a volcanologist to talk about the Hawaiian things. I have had a couple geologists, but it's weird because they have a PhD in geology. They say, well, we're not experts on volcanology. I'm like, you still have a fucking PhD in geology. You study the topic. But that's the weird thing about people that have actually learned stuff. They always say, I'm not an expert in a field. They're not an expert, even though they have a PhD in the field. It's weird. It's just they recognize that they have limitations, and they don't consider themselves experts on fields they're not expertise in. Unlike people like suffering from DK, right?
And Thursday, Frank will be here from the Geek Room, and I don't know who else. We'll figure it out. And then Friday, we're going to do the Fan Friday show, and that's it. So, guys, I enjoyed it. Thank you. See you later, chat room. One more thing before I go. I'm gonna get Red House Gay. God damn it, I didn't get it in.